11:47 p.m., Maple Brook, Ohio. One of those towns where the streetlights hum louder than the people, where the factories closed long before the kids stopped dreaming. Across the street from an abandoned steel plant, I was locking up Rosie's diner, apron still dusted with flour, when I saw movement in the basement windows. I should have kept walking. Should have thought about Mia, my daughter upstairs in our two-room apartment, probably curled up with her stuffed elephant, scared of the dark like always, but I didn't. Something in me wouldn't let me. 4 minutes later, I was standing in a pool of silence. 3 grown men, out cold on the floor. And in the middle of it all, a woman in a designer suit, wrists raw from duct tape, mascara running, down her face like war paint. She looked up at me like I was the monster. Who are you?" she stammered. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. A text from Mia. "Dad, are you coming home? I'm scared." That message cut deeper than any blade ever could, but I couldn't move because the woman I'd just untied was Victoria Langston, CEO of Langston Industries. The same woman who laid off 200 factory workers last winter, half the guys I served breakfast to every day. I should have left her there. Let karma do its work. But I didn't. I walked her up the stairs, steadied her as her heels clicked against the metal, mocking both of us. She dropped her keys twice before unlocking her Mercedes. She didn't cry, not once. She rolled the window down, voice shaking. "I won't tell anyone about tonight." Then she drove off, leaving me with bloodied knuckles and more questions than answers. That should have been the end. But it never is. By midnight, I was home. Mia had fallen asleep in my bed again. In the fridge, she'd left me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich cut into a crooked heart. Beside it sat my heart pills. Been taking them ever since Sarah died 3 years ago. But that night, I didn't need them. My hands didn't shake. My breath was steady. Down in that basement, I'd moved like I used to, back when I wore the uniform. Only sharper, faster, almost unnatural. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the curtains like nothing happened. Mia ate her cereal, reading her dinosaur book. "You came home late," she said casually, like noticing the sky was blue. I lied. Told her I was helping with inventory. I'm not proud of that. At the diner, everything felt louder. The grill hissed like it knew my secret. Linda, my co-worker, looked me over. "You look like hell." I didn't argue. At 12:15, the bell over the door chimed, and there she was again, Victoria Langston. Sunglasses, navy blazer, worth more than my truck. She ordered coffee black and, when no one was looking, slid a white envelope across the table. Inside was a check for $3,000, the exact amount I owed in Sarah's medical bills, and a card. Head of Security, Langston Industries. On the back, scribbled in pen, "We need to talk." I stared at her. "How do you know about my debts?" She didn't answer. But before she could lie, a regular named Tom recognized her. His face went red. He stood, fists clenched. "You ruined my life!" He grabbed her arm. She panicked. "Let her go, Tom." The words came out of me sharp, commanding, like the soldier I used to be. Tom froze. He actually flinched. Then he let go. Victoria bolted, leaving a $20 on the table and more trouble than I could process. That night, another anonymous text buzzed on my phone. "They know you intervened. Your daughter may be in danger." My blood turned cold. The next morning, Linda dropped a newspaper on the counter. Headline: "Veteran found dead in apparent overdose. His name was Marcus Webb. Marine, friend of mine, clean for years. He'd been in the same wellness program I got my heart meds from. Recently, he told me he felt stronger, faster, just like me. Now he was dead." I dug deeper, found 4 more veterans, all in nearby counties. Same program, same sudden strength, same mysterious deaths. Someone was experimenting on us. Another text came. Stop digging or join Marcus. Your choice. I didn't stop. I called Victoria, told her I'd take the job, but I wanted the truth. We met at an abandoned grain silo. She looked different. Not the Ice Queen CEO, but a woman fraying at the edges. She opened a briefcase and laid it bare. Files, photos, charts. Project Genesis. An experiment disguised as a veterans support program funded through her company. Run by a private contractor, they'd been enhancing us, turning veterans into assets, stronger, sharper, more obedient. But if we refused the next phase, they erased us. Quietly. She wasn't just a villain, she was a prisoner. 3 years. Ago, they'd staged her son's kidnapping. He was alive, being held as leverage. My rage turned to nausea. She looked me dead in the eye. There's still time, if we act now. We planned a raid on the facility in Des Moines, scheduled to process me and 15 others in 48 hours. It was suicide. But the alternative was worse. I called the few people I trusted. Linda, a couple of factory guys. Quietly, other vets who whispered that something was wrong with them, too. The night before, I kissed Mia's forehead like it might be the last time. At the facility, the outside looked ordinary. Inside, locked doors, biometric scanners, sterile labs built for war. They tried to finish the enhancements, told us we were heroes, patriots. I saw Marcus's file, stamped in red, permanent solution implemented. That's what they called murder. At 2 a.m., chaos erupted. Factory workers stormed the front gate, drawing security out. Inside, we struck fast, freed. Prisoners, downloaded files, destroyed research. Victoria found her son alive, broken but breathing. Then the alarms blared. Self-destruct sequence. 30 minutes. We ran through fire, smoke, and blood. By sunrise, the building was gone. But the story wasn't. Media exploded. Whistleblower leaks. Human rights groups demanding answers. Congressional hearings. And Victoria? She started a foundation for veterans like us. But me? I went home. Back to Mia. Back to PB&J's cut into crooked hearts. Back to bedtime stories and sidewalk chalk drawings. People still call me a hero. I don't feel like one. I was just a dad trying to make it home. And yet I know the people who built that program, the ones who turned us into weapons. They're still out there, watching, plotting, and I'm ready. Because this time, I'm not alone. So now I've got to ask you, should people like Victoria, people who enabled the system but also risked everything to tear it down, be forgiven? Or should they be held accountable, no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Justice only works when we talk about it. And silence? Silence is how monsters win.